Hello, everyone. Waiting for the recall. Welcome to OWinners webinar. Glad to have every one of you. We just heard a wonderful performance by DJ Skipper. We don't record it because of trademark regulations by YouTube. However, it was wonderful. So if you guys want to catch him live, come early and come on time, and you'll be able to hear him perform. He does a great job for us. Thank you so much, DJ Skipper. We appreciate you. He just mentioned that he has a new song coming out. So be sure to look for that, and we will try to help him promote his song because he's an amazing musician, and he happens to be a founder of Unpassive, which makes it all the more special. So every week we have OWinners, but we alternate from week to week. And this week is a motivation topic, okay? And the following week will be more information for you all. So today is Motivation Week, and we have a nice lineup of speakers for you. We're going to begin with Dr. Pikam Takusi rather. She's not feeling well today, but she was so excited that she couldn't miss it. So she's going to speak with us briefly because her throat isn't cooperating with her. So we're going to welcome her, and we're grateful that you're willing to be here with us, even if you're not feeling very well. Thank you so much for being here. We love you. Go ahead and just speak a little bit. Don't have to speak a lot.
Thank you, Auntie Lee. Good evening, my own Passivians. As you all can hear my voice, I've been so excited since Sunday after listening to the wonderful presentation and the words spoken by Mr. Ash. I was so hysterical that after that call, I called my brother. I told my brother that if you had any doubt whatsoever in your mind, if there was something somewhere that you had any doubt, today, after listening to Mr. Ash, it is done. Did you hear what he said about telling his papa about this? What the Christians call the Holy Scripture in the Old Testament and the Jews call the Tanakh in the Torah, we have the 10 Commandments. And the 5th commandment says, honor your father and your mother so that your days may be long on earth, which is the first commandment with a promise. The moment Mr. Ash said that it is a done deal, and he has told his dad about what is going on, I knew that that was it. My dear Unpassivians, if we understand the source from which we all come from, our foundation are our parents. So if Mr. Ash could go to his dad and tell him what he's doing and confess that to us all, then we know that we are at a new mountaintop. This is real. I've been so excited. I've been having tears of gratitude. I think that's why my voice is gone, because I've been screaming and talking to everybody. My brother and sister can bear me witness about that. This thing is real. So I'm going to cut it at this and remind us all. There's a story of the Indian bamboo. The Indian bamboo, you need to water it for 5 years. Every day, you have to nurture it, water it, take good care of it, but nothing comes out from the soil. Some people might see you and think you're stupid. What are you doing? There's nothing there. But every day, you have to keep on nurturing and watering. But guess what? After 5 years, it takes only 5 weeks for the Indian bamboo to grow to 20 feet tall. So my dear Unpassivians, we are at that edge where our Indian bamboo is about to shoot. We are there. So let us stay strong. Let us carry that spirit of gratitude and use gratitude to be an alchemist for our souls, to bring into being that which we are all looking forward to make a name to the world. Thank you all. And I do apologize for my voice, but I had to say something tonight. Thank you. Thank you.
That was lovely. Thank you so much. We heard you loud and clear because you know what? Your heart speaks to us, Dr. Pikam. That's for sure. So what you said was valuable, even if it was just a little bit. Thank you for showing up, even if your voice is really pretty much shot. You poor thing. Take care now. Honey, lemon, and all of that good stuff, okay? Love you. Thank you so much. All right, next we've got Dr. Bill Williams. Come on down, Dr. Bill Williams. Love to hear from you.
Hey, Lynn, how are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you for having me in. Bob, thanks for the invitation. Good to see Mike and Marty and all my friends from all over the world. Hello, Tin Man, how are you tonight? So I have a couple of questions for you. What motivates you? Maybe being a winner? You're in the right place. So winners, this is exactly where we should be tonight, right? What about being on a winning team? We definitely have a winning team. How about being a member of a family that you love? Nobody loves anybody more than other ONPASSIVE founders. You know, this is like a love fest every time we get on a webinar. I think a lot of people are motivated by helping others. Having our culture of oh bless, it's motivational beyond compare. A lot of people are wanting to escape the job. They want financial success. That's a motivator. Probably that's why most people actually looked at it in the first place. They heard you could make some money. But I think the main one is believing in the leader. If you believe in the leader who's leading, you probably will be more motivated to do something because you know that they have a plan. They have an idea that they're going to do or die. They are filled with passion when they speak. I'm motivated by hearing Ash. I'm motivated by his game plan. And I thought I would share a bit about his game plan tonight. And I don't know if I can do whiteboard or not. But if not, I've got a backup plan. So I should always have a backup plan. You know, there was a sociologist that studied how products come to market. And he was talking about this being a process of diffusion where a product gets introduced to the market and it's diffused throughout society. The best example the first one was back in 1920s in Iowa when they introduced hybrid corn and nobody wanted to touch it, but there were a few innovators who said they would try it. And then it took, my battery is running low. Let me make sure that I'm plugged in somewhere. Hang on.
Dr. Bill will be back.
Sure enough, I unplugged my computer to plug my light in. You got to have a better backup plan than that, right? So these farmers, innovators, infected their friends with a good idea. And it took them till 1930, 7 years before the hybrid corn became used by the next group of people, which were the early adopters. And it took another 22 years for the concept of hybrid corn to spread all around the world, to all around the United States, for people who were using that as their primary source of corn growth. And, you know, in our business, the IT business, we've got some examples of the iPad, the iPod, the iPhone that came out as products in the early 2000s. And they were not very well accepted in the very first year, but they caught on in the second, third, fourth year, and they zoomed up and became an iconic growth that propelled Apple to quite a large number of sales, hundreds of millions of sales. Well, in our business, we're talking about digital products, right? And so there's a critical point in the innovation cycle where the transition happens from early adopters to reach the very end, the major people that will use all these products. And there's a point that's called a chasm, and we have to reach that chasm. I want to see if I can share my screen and show you a drawing that I made. This is the backup plan. Since I can't use a whiteboard, I made my own drawing. And what you see there is innovators, early adopters, the early majority, the late majority, and then the skeptics that kind of hold off and never do anything or come in at the very end. And so the green line is your first product you have. And where are we on the scale right now? That's the question I have for you. You know, this is the genius of Ash Mafarth, is he understands what the chasm is. The chasm is that place on the growth curve of a product where it goes from being early adopter to early majority, where the majority of the growth occurs in terms of acceleration. And it catches the eye of media, it catches the eye of the consumer, and people that didn't pay attention always now pay attention. And so for any product to get into a life cycle where it doesn't fail, it has to get into and out of the chasm before it becomes a mainstream product where everybody knows what it is and everybody uses it. So the chasm is a challenge. And a lot of products never reach that point where they're over the hump and into the growth cycle that becomes profitable. Unless you get into this upper level, early majority usage, you're not profitable. Most of the time, you're just a break even or money losing product. Now, what happens with Ash, he sees this and he says, well, I'm going to create the volume before I start. See, most people launch at innovator stage and slowly build up, and they're in a precarious position going along until they finally get to the early majority stage. And it may take a lot of marketing, a lot of time, 20 years, 15 years, 5 years, depending on the company and what they sell. Well, Ash has kind of condensed this time period from innovator to the launch period. And he's done everything before launch to grow the company, which is unheard of. Nobody's done that before. And so we're going to enter the market ready for the early majority to take hold, because we've already got our early adopters in the founders group, 1.4 million customers. And we're going to have a massive marketing campaign, which most companies have to scale up their income before they can market like we're going to market. And so we could take off a lot faster from our start. When the curve rises and we get to the top, we may taper off. We may start to lose some of our momentum. But Ash has some ideas about that I think are important. He's got innovation being built on top of innovation. He's got introduction of a series of products, not just one product. So you see the orange line, and that would be the second product coming in. And it would start and it would come and keep going. If one product starts to tail off, you've got another one to take its place. You've got another product, you've got another product. So 50, 60, 80, 100 products taken off, and you're never losing your altitude because you're keeping innovation in each one of these products. So that's the theory that we talked about on Sunday afternoon of the concept of overlapping curves, where you take a product and you take it through its growth cycle. And then just as you get to the place where you're needing to have a cash infusion, a growth spurt, you've got another product to keep going. And that's why we're going to have multiple sources of income coming in as founders. That's very motivational to people who get into a business. they know that there's a plan to never slow down. There's a plan never to rely on one product to do all the work. So keep in mind, as you think about what we're doing as a company, we've already overcome the chasm, and we're ready to launch overlapping curves from the very beginning. We're not going to wait for one to rise and fall before we start our next product. So that's kind of the motivating factor today, is that you can count on Ash to lead us. And if you have any doubts, don't have them. Lynn, back to you.
Thank you. I like that. I saw that, how it's a never-ending cycle, even though it's a static thing, it really isn't, because as new products come into play, the whole thing comes back again. Isn't that true? Is that how it works?
Absolutely. And I think Ash's sprints that he has every 2 weeks, every 3 or 4 weeks, 6 weeks, are going to improve every product as we go along. And so, you really need to understand IT is never static, and we will build on things continually. And the competition can never overtake you if you start out and never let up on the pedal.
Interesting. Thank you so much for that perspective. Something that most of us don't think about. So definitely I gained from it. I hope many of us here did. Thank you. All right, now we go to Mike Ellis. Mike Ellis.
You had to look at your list, didn't you, Lynn?
Yeah, I'm a senior citizen. I have an excuse, don't I? I hope I have an excuse.
Yeah, no, that was very good, Dr. Bill. Very motivational. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Motivation. It's a really, really interesting topic. And it's a very, very broad topic. And when you start to talk about motivation, it really is an abstract term. It's different things to different people. And it's really, really easy to get motivated for a day or a week or even a month. Either you listen to some motivational speakers and you get jacked up and you feel real good about things, but it's really, really difficult to stay at that peak where you need to stay to build a business. It's hard to stay motivated. And unless you have some key items, it just doesn't happen. Motivation, when you think about motivation, you have to bring in another term in my mind. You have to bring in certainty. And when you have motivation and certainty, it's really, really easy to stay at that peak. And certainty, it's easy to define. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 decades ago, before the 4-minute mile had been broken, people thought the 4-minute mile was something that the human body could not do. It was just impossible for us to run a sub 4-minute mile. And one gentleman came around and he trained, and eventually he got to the place where he ran a sub 4-minute mile. He ran a mile below 4 minutes. And before that, nobody thought that could be done. And what he did is he brought certainty to the situation. Number one, if you did run a 4-minute mile, you weren't going to die. That's a good thing to know. You're not going to die if that happens. And right after he did that, about 2 or 3 months after that, there were a half a dozen gentlemen that ran sub 4-minute miles. So when you're talking about motivation, it's really, really hard to stay up unless you have certainty. And that brings us to ONPASSIVE. Everybody here, eventually, you have to motivate yourself. And in order to do that, you have to understand what's going on. And when you think about ONPASSIVE, there is certainty there. There are things that Mr. Mufar has done. It's a done deal. Those things have happened. 3.5 years ago, when we came into ONPASSIVE, there was no certainty. We did not know what's going to happen. But as we move forward, Mr. Mufara has always done what he said he was going to do. That's certainty. He's come on, he's developed the AI IT products. Certainty, it's a done deal. They're done, they're ready to go. As he came in, he told us that he was going to share the wealth with all of us. That is certainty. Why? Because Mr. Mufara has you can always count on him to whatever he says, that's what he's going to do. And he has said that. That's certainty. As we look at where we're at in ONPASSIVE, everybody here, everybody on this webinar, you should know exactly where we're at right now. We are in a place and time when we know when we're going to launch. And it's not a guess. It is certainty. It's not speculation. We know exactly what's going to happen. Now, we might not know the day that's going to happen, but we know the time frame. That is certainty. We know that as ONPASSIVE launches to the world, the marketing side of ONPASSIVE, not only is it a done deal, it's going to be spectacular. Ash Mufara has described what he's doing, how he's doing it. We even know what's happening at the end of November. We know there are other things coming behind it that are even bigger than that. All of this is certainty. And when you can add certainty to what you're doing, when you know what you have to do, you know how you have to do it, and you know the results that are coming, you have that certainty, all of a sudden, getting up in the morning and being very, very motivated to do whatever you have to do, it becomes very, very easy. But in the end, when we start to talk about motivation, there are a lot of things that can be said to motivate people. It's just the human condition. We get very pumped up when we hear good things, but eventually you have to motivate yourself. And if you understand what Mr. Mufara is doing, if you understand what's coming, if you understand the uniqueness of your position, motivation becomes very, very easy. And I know I talked to Oliver, I talked to Marty DeGarmer, I talked to the tech pros, I talked to, believe me, motivation is not a problem. We wake up every morning and we're excited about what's coming. We have a webinar with Mr. Mufara tomorrow. If you're not pumped, if you're not motivated to get over there and hear what he has to say, because every day we're getting closer and closer and closer to the product launch to the global market, every single day. And Mr. Mufara has told us that the last 2 weeks in September, he's going to unload. We're in such a great position, and motivation should not be a problem. When you understand what's happening, you should get up very, very happy because your life is about to change in major, major ways. I love the topic of motivation, and it can go in so many different directions. This is motivation of us, motivation of ONPASSIVE. You can also talk about motivation of customers. That's a whole different topic. I'm not going to go there, but there are other things you can talk about when it comes to motivation. It's very, very abstract. It's very, very important. And each and every one of you ought to have that right now. You ought to have a big smile on your face because it's coming. That's it, Lynn. Go ahead.
I have a question for you, real quick question on that.
Sure.
I was wondering, how does mindset play into motivation? Because for me, I think that mindset is a choice that we make. And with that choice comes that motivation, the positive motivation. But
it does, Lynn. Mindset has a lot to do with it. And it really, mindset, again, it's one of those things that's hard to define. It really depends on the stage of life that you're in, what's happening in your life. You can change your mindset. It's not hard to do that, but you have to understand a few things. And one of the things when it comes to mindset is when you think about life, when you think about mindset, and I don't care what situation you're in, if you come to life in the morning as you get up every day and you think to yourself, this is a beautiful life. I live a beautiful life, and there are so many opportunities and people to meet in life. And the thing about people, and most people don't understand this, there are strangers out there right now that care about you. They don't even know you. But if they have the opportunity to help you, they're going to do that. And when you come to life with the thought that this is a beautiful life. And if you have the opportunity, help a stranger because they would do the same for you, rather than some of the other things that go on in media and politics, all the other stuff. It's not who we are. We were put here to help people. And if you come at life with the thought that it's a beautiful life, your mindset is just really, really good all the time. Hopefully that helped, Lynn. At least that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm at too. So
Yeah.
just me, motivation is always there. It's a continual thing in my life, but it's again a choice because of I want to think positively, and I really
It's all-
believe in, you know.
Yeah, it's always a choice, Lynn.
Yeah.
Have a choice to have a good life or to have a bad life. And it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. It really doesn't. Whether you're rich, poor, doesn't matter. It's your choice. Is it going to be a good life or is it going to be a hard life? I choose a good life.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Okay. Who is next? Marty DeGarmo is next. Marty, you ready?
As ready as I'm gonna get.
All
Hello,
right.
everybody. Yeah, motivation. Wow, that's a wild one. Thinking about it the whole time I found out that's what it was. I know back before I got into Unpassive, I guess you'd call the word I'd psych myself up for stuff. I would motivate myself. Like Mike said, it's a lot of different stuff. I know with myself, Mike, and Dan, we motivated each other because we had to. We didn't have anything to grab a hold of. We believed there was things out there that were bigger and could be better, but we had no. At the point before Unpassive, we didn't know what that was. And then when Unpassive did come along, and it was the best of it, everything we ever thought of. And then to find out that this man, Ash Mufara, is who he is and how he thinks and how he does things, as far as motivation, that was enough for me. I actually am very motivated personally by motivating others or helping us or pointing to a direction. I love the idea. If you have an idea what the outcome is, and you can get that picture in your mind or in your heart, whatever, it gets pretty deep. When you have that, it's so motivating to motivate others to see what you see. Now, some see it easily. Some see it probably better than you do. But that point of pointing people that direction or, look at this. I mean, are you really looking at this? And seeing people change. I mean, everybody I know here in the last going on 4 years that I've known have changed for the better. It didn't make who you were. It just brought out the best in you because it was a platform and a place where you can be you. Life itself kind of beats you down into this little cubbyhole of this is the way you'll be, this is the way it is, you're going to time in, you're going to do this, you're going to work till you're 67. Now, I thank God above, I never quite fit into that little square, and I probably thought it all the way through, even in my business when I worked in a company. Not thought it to cause trouble, but thought it to make it bigger and better. And I would self-design things that made me where I could be motivated. And like Mike said, I didn't like the Amway type of motivation. They rah, 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 rah on your way home from some seminar, and you're attacking everybody you could meet. You're talking to the guy pumping your gas, kid riding by on a bike. And then reality sets in and it's pretty much you again, except now you have $1,000 on your credit card bill because you paid for a vacation to go to a seminar you couldn't afford, and you're not bringing anybody in. I mean, it's sad, but we've all done that. Where the motivation for me and Unpassive is the outcome's bigger and better than we imagine. And I've never been in anything where the goal is, all right, we're going to get here and go, wow, that'd be fantastic. But the goal is bigger and better than I could even say. I mean, as soon as we think we know, we realize it's even better. So the motivation for Unpassive for me is it's every day. It doesn't break away. It doesn't go away. I'm motivated by the view I see. Is it the same view as Mr. Mufara? Absolutely not. He's up in the crow's nest. He can see the whole place. He sees everything. And then once in a while yells down and tells us what he's looking at. It's a little hard to figure it out. But you know, you learn if you listen. I know so many people miss what's being said sometimes because they're listening for something they want to hear, and they really don't realize if they listen to what's being said, it'll tell them what they want to hear. It may not be today, though. It might be tomorrow, the next day. But if you listen to all these pieces and you look at all the pieces of puzzle and you slow down and realize what masterpiece we own, it'll take your breath away. And motivation is not going to be a problem. I have zero problem with motivation. I get up every day and how am I going to slam this home? I mean, that's just what I do. And I see more and more people here doing the same thing. And to me, that's beautiful. But motivation, yeah, it's important. But what it really is helping people stay focused until they want to focus themselves. That's all. And what happens is we all get down and out. Myself, Mike, and Dan on Passive Nation. Oh, you guys are lucky. Some days didn't feel so lucky. Okay. Some days weren't that much fun. But if one was not 100% or a little bit down, the other, we encouraged each other. We motivated each other. But we always knew what was possible. We just needed a platform to do what we knew we could do. And to be given this silver tray and the opportunity to truly help others, because like Mike said, I don't care if people like it or they don't like it. We were put here to help others. And I want to pass that test. I want my last day to know you did a good job. You helped who you could help. You guided who you could. You were true. You were honest. You took care of people. You helped when you could. If we all did that little bit, and trust me, it feels good to help others. No doubt about it. I mean, so much better than focusing on you. And I know for a fact in my life, 62 years, the more people I help, the better my life becomes. It's a law that was written by God. I mean, I know it because I live it every day. I mean, you got bad days, but a day is temporary. You know, this day may not be the best time. Okay, so I don't focus on it. I focus on what I can focus on. You know, I'm thinking about motivating as far as what's being said. You know, Ash goes out and talks to this big advertising company, people that deal with visitors to our website, visitors and traffic, and they get in a conversation. And by the end of the conversation, the person that owned the company, over 100 and some employees, said, "How would you like to buy us so that we could be exclusive?" Now, I don't know where that's going to go. Ask buying a company, knowing him now is not, he's going to, if it's worth it, of course he'll do that. But that's where things are going in the life of Unpassive now. You know, I was telling people we're working with Ben B in sports out of Qatar. But reality is, and I got this straight finally, the communications with this advertising that's going to happen is directly with FIFA. And they're getting along very, very well. I mean, the day now is when Unpassive talks, everybody's lending an ear. They want to hear what this company wants to say. And they're going to want to work with us. And that didn't happen by accident. That happened by the man that motivates all of us, Mr. Mufara. Because he had a vision. Who motivated him? I mean, I always have somebody I could go to. A lot of his motivation is looking back and seeing us, that we're there. That's why he said, all I need from all of you, have trust, patience. Trust is a big deal. And to be able to come into a meeting and be able to chat with people for 5 or 6 hours, that motivates Mr. Mufara. It's not the money. He never had a problem making money. And he's not going to have a problem making money for all of us because he built it different. He built it like nobody would build a company. I remember Michael Johnson in 1995 ran like a duck, the 440, the 400, and the 200. Had the record for like 20 or 30 years. Guy interviewed because, you know, people make fun of the way you run. Wouldn't it be easier if you ran like them? Because if I ran like them, I wouldn't be in first place, would I? And when Mike was talking about Roger Bannister beat the 4-minute mile, first man to ever do it. Soon as people thought it was possible, in a very short amount of time, 5 to 10 years, 20,000 people beat the 4-minute mile because they believed it's possible. And he motivated other people that he'll never meet because in their mind, that barrier was taken down. So motivation is a two-way street. You have to accept the motivation to get you to want to go, to get you to believe, to get you to think there are bigger and better things, to not get worried about being knocked down. You know why people don't go ahead? Oh, I'm not going to fall on everybody. I'll fall every day if I have to. As long as I get up, I win. But you'll go nowhere, you'll get nothing if you don't fall flat on your face. There's nothing wrong with falling down. The biggest, best people that created more things than anybody else failed the most. But they never quit. That's Mufara. He's got a lot of bad days. Most of his days are not fun. But you know what he's looking at? The prize. He knows where he's going. All the stuff now is temporary. If we all do that, we can motivate each other. Every time I hear people talk here, the women, the men, all different webinars, I am motivated to the core. Trouble sleeping. I get motivated by all of you when you talk as much as I do Ash Mufara. Because I know the piece of the puzzle of ONPASSIVE are the people. The power of this company is you. Mr. Mufara is the leader. He's the visionary. He's the only man I know that would do this. He's the only smartest people. He's one of the smartest people I've ever met. He's got the biggest heart. But look what he created behind him. Look at the aftermath. Look what's following him. When he walks into a room, you know he knows he's walking into a room with 1 million people with him. That's here and here. So he's motivated. He knows what's behind him. He knows he walks in on a unicorn. He's hired them. This company is more valuable than some companies get in the whole lifespan of their company. We should be proud of that. We should be motivated. But if you look up motivated, it's also a choice. Do you want to feel better? Do you want the best life has to offer? But do you want to dwell on the bad things? You can. Doesn't change the bad things, but I'd rather not. A bad day or a bad hour is temporary. Let's move on. I didn't mean to talk this much, but anyway, yeah, motivation's a big deal. But I've never met more motivating people than all of you. Never. And tomorrow I'll come to the meeting and be prepared to be motivated. Anyway, thank you.
Thanks, Marty. And in fact, I would say the majority of founders are a very motivated bunch. And tomorrow we're going to be jumping in excitement. I mean, I hope to see a really good turnout for tomorrow's corporate webinar. It's going to be very exciting. And I see that Satya has his hand raised, and I want to let you know that it is not the time to raise your hand, Satya. We will let you know. We will have a question and answer and comment period, and we'll let you know when that starts, okay? So it's no hand raising for now. Thank you for your understanding. All right, now we go on to Mr. Oliver Fonte. He is the host, one of the two hosts of this awesome webinar. Go ahead, Oliver.
Hi, everybody. I want to thank Mr. Mike Ellis, Marty, Dr. Bill, my brother Bob, Lynn, and I also want to thank CV, Marcia, for taking that big task to welcome us also. And I want to thank all the ONPASSIVians that are here today. Dr. Pikam, sorry that your voice is gone. You would have killed us today with your sweet words. Yes, motivation. The time has come that we are getting closer and closer to that day that we have to motivate each other. Motivation. Because, and we should prepare our mind mentally to receive what is coming. It's like a newborn baby is coming, a golden baby that is coming, that we've been waiting for all this while. And when I talk about motivation, I always ask that question, the how, the why, and the when. All these three is ONPASSIVE. How did Mr. Ashmufara started ONPASSIVE? How? And why? He has a vision. He carried 1.4 million of us behind him. The why, he came up with products, value, and the when is the big day that we are talking about. And with all this, we are all motivated, waiting anxiously. And we know tomorrow he will come and drop some missiles, some bombs that is going to make us, we will not be able to sleep. When I talk to my brother every morning, Bob Takusi, every 8 a.m. in the morning we talk, and we are the last people to go to bed. And then I cannot still sleep. For the past 1 week now, my body is boiling that I can't even sleep because of the value that ONPASSIVE is bringing to the world. And with all of this, we are all motivated. The loyalty that the 1.4 million founders in there patiently waiting, the ups and the downs, the journey. Now, the time has come that we are motivated and we're smiling. We cannot sleep because we know what is coming. We also know that each and every one of us, we are going to have multiple sources of income. Why do I say multiple sources of income? Because we do have our products that are independent companies, OTrim, OStaff, OTracker, OConnect. These are all independent, multi-billion-dollar industry, independent. Tell me why we should not be motivated. That you can see your future guaranteed. Your future is already, we will not think about disability insurance. We will not think about retirement, 401k, because everything is already in ONPASSIVE. Your future is already guaranteed. That of our generation, like Dr. B. William would say, the dynasty. our dynasty. If we are not there to move today, Mr. Ash Mufara has guaranteed our future and our dynasty. Our generation to come will not suffer. That is the motivation that that makes us, we are happy. Nothing is good nothing is good when you say you have that freedom. That I wake up from bed, or I want to go to bed, I will not think about that my boss, my this, and you have a 9-to-5 job, you come back, you're tired. Now you have that freedom that you go to bed quietly, or what you think, what should I do? What life am I going to impact? That motivation will continue, it will keep burning in us. It will keep burning in us. Like our CEO said, value is the what magnitude for wealth, something like that. I can't, but you can see that all of us, with the value that ONPASSIVE is bringing to the world, transforming the world, transforming the technical world, the technology with serious products, above market value products. When you look at it also, a company that is coming with, oh my God, domain account, OConnect also, that is that product that is going to come to transform the whole communication, the world of communication. About 1 billion people can access the same time, communicating the same time. The system will not blink. The World Cup. All of us will sit in our couch in the living room. You see the advert ONPASSIVE with products. Tell me how you will not be a happy man for life. The hard work, the journey that all of us, the 1.4 million, even the last person that joined has joined us in this journey. I also want to thank Mr. Marty Degamo, Dan Street, Mike Ellis. When they came, the whole ball game, they changed the whole ball game ONPASSIVE. And today, they came with that power, that spirit, with that spirit of bringing in the word of mouth that has brought all of us here, the 1.4 million. You touch your friend, you touch your family, this family, touch this family, touch this person with no advert. That motivation and that spirit, that is what has taken ONPASSIVE today. I want to thank all the three of you, bro, and thank all of us also. You should thank all of us because we also did a good job. The word of mouth. ONPASSIVE is a family. It's a big family that we've motivated each other. We've motivated each other. At least everybody has touched somebody to bring in somebody. And today and tomorrow, we are the winners. That dynasty. We have faith. That faith and hope. Tomorrow, those of our friends that they didn't want to join us, they didn't know the journey. And when they will see us, our zip code has changed. We move from Toyota to Lexus and Mercedes. They will not understand the journey. They won't understand the journey. I really want to thank each and every one of us today. Well, we've motivated each other. We've motivated each other. And I know we'll all smile, and we're already smiling. When I listened to Mike Ellis' last video where he talked that we should prepare ourselves, that he has already prepared himself. I think the time has come also that we should call each and every one of us, if you know any ONPASSIVian, call, motivate them, that you people should have that, that I don't know how to put it, but to inspire all of us. We should inspire each other and to thank each other. We should thank Mr. Ash Mufara and the tech team in Hyderabad because they've done a wonderful job. We should not only thank ourselves, but we should get a good sleep. When you look at our products, look at ONPASSIVE today, a company of humanity that has embraced humanity, and that we have a product also called OWinners that is a free product, that we are going to change our community. You cannot beat that. A lot of crowdfunding out there, multi-billion-dollar companies, the CEOs, they are flying private jet, but ONPASSIVE today, OWinners is free, 100%. We cannot beat that. Academy is coming to transform the traditional educational system in the whole world. People from different parts of the country will not spend money for visa and, pay large tuition. You stay where you are. From kindergarten to PhD, you need just your tablet, your laptop, and an internet. You get you get all the certificate and the degree that you want. That is ONPASSIVE. That is ONPASSIVE. I want to say thank everybody that is here today. And like I said, we should think big, dream big, think positive, and reverse our dream. Our CEO told us that. So please, Angeline, thank you.
Thank you. So much to be grateful for, Oliver. And as you said, we should thank each other for motivating one another. That's a good point. We've been of great support to one another. Thank you so much. Now we go to none other than our own Bob Takusi. He is the other host of OWinners webinar. Come on down, Bob.
All right, Angeline. Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is your friend and your brother from Bel Air, Maryland. It's a pleasure being here again this Wednesday. I really want to thank and appreciate our guests here tonight. Dr. Bill William, thank you for accepting our invitation. Thank you so much. I enjoyed your presentation with the CHASM theory and innovators and early adopters and all that. The MSI, multiple source of income theory. That is very refreshing and good to know. Brother Madi Degamo and Mr. Mike Ellis, only the good Lord who's up there is going to reward you guys for what you've done. Thank you to my sisters, Sylvie and Macien, and all the OWinners, all the founders worldwide who are here with us. Thank you for coming to listen to this, our motivation session. Thank you, Dr. Pikam. Thank you, DJ Jerry. Thank you for giving us that spark before we begin our session every day. Even when you're out of town or you go out, you're out of the country, you make sure you try as much as possible to connect. Last week was just not possible because we were way out of the country. So we appreciate you, Jerry. Thank you. Boy, motivation. I agree with my brother Oliver. I agree with Oliver when he talks about the dynamic trio. The dynamic trio, you know who that is? That is Messrs. Degamo, Ellis, and Street of the ONPASSIVE Nation. If you want to talk about those who've motivated every single 1.4 million founders of ONPASSIVE, I think they epitomize that, including Dr. Bill and all the other leaders, because it is in that coattails that we run today. As we sit here, myself and Oliver and all my fellow two brothers of the OTech Pros, I believe we can say we run in the coattails of Marty Degamo. It is him. It is his motivation, his spirit, the spirit in him that has brought out what the entire ONPASSIVE community sees of us. So thank you, Brother Marty. Thank you, Mr. Ellis. And of course, Mr. Street. Thank you to our founder, Mr. Ash. Yes, like Marty says, he motivates us every day, Mr. Ash. For the past 3 or 4 weeks, Every time Ash Mufara has come out, we have had less sleep. I don't know about you guys, but Oliver will tell you, myself and Oliver and a few friends within our circle that you speak. Oh, Marcien and I, we talk a lot all the time. I wake up in the morning, I will call her, she calls me. We barely have sleep. My sister Marie, you know, every time that Ash Mufara comes out, we have less sleep. He has been motivating us and he's been giving us, and he's doing exactly what he told us in the beginning. Everything that Ash Mufara is doing now is what he had been telling us before. Sometimes you just need to listen to him keenly and put things in context. Sometimes you need to go back, put one or two webinars that he had set together before you make the sense out of it. He's been doing that. He's been motivating us every time. The reason that I myself personally, why I always stay motivated, I've always been. From the first time that I came to ONPASSIVE, I've stayed motivated. Because of something, and I've said this several times in most of our webinars, in our OWinners webinars. This chat is actually distracting me. Let me take it out 1 second. Okay. I have always been motivated. And I've said this to my fellow OWinners when we used to do presentations several times. So this is no surprise to them. Part of the reason why I was so motivated about ONPASSIVE is a book that I read. The book is written by a guy called, most of us will know him here. It's a guy called Robert Kiyosaki. The book is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You know, in that book, somewhere in the middle of that book, Robert Kiyosaki is trying to explain to the audience how wealth was determined in the past 300 years, 19th, 20th, and the 21st century. In the 19th century, we know that wealth was determined by those who owned the land. You know, the wealthy people were those who owned the land. The 20th century was the Industrial Revolution, those who owned the industries and the factories. Those are the rich people, the wealthy people. But in that book, Kiyosaki says for the 21st century, for this, the time that we live in now, our time. Thank you, Dwayne. Our time. Those who are going to be wealthy now are those who have the information. I read that book about 15 years ago, and you know, when you read books, every book that you read, something sticks in you from that book sticks with you throughout your life. And that thought just stuck with me. So when I listened to this unique once in a lifetime opportunity from about ONPASSIVE, when I listened to it, I was just having a flashback of that moment. Is this what Kiyosaki was saying? Remember, Robert Kiyosaki is a very serious guy. He's a businessman, investor. He makes predictions and they come true. He speaks to presidents. He's everywhere. Universities all around the world. He's a very serious guy. He's a credible guy. He says that those who are going to own the wealth in this our time, this 21st century, are those who are going to have the information. So when I listened to that, I was thinking, what does this guy mean? It just stayed in my subconscious. And then when I heard about ONPASSIVE for the first time, my dear ONPASSIVians, that motivation, that thought, or may I call it a school of thought, that school of thought was triggered. And I was thinking, is this what Kiyosaki was saying? Those who are going to own the wealth are those who are going to have the information. And that information is going to come to you at the speed of light. If you blink, you miss it. And at that moment, as I listened to this opportunity, and as I was absorbing the opportunity and the enormity of this opportunity, I understood immediately that one, this is a unique opportunity. That's what motivated me. That the concept of ONPASSIVE and everything about ONPASSIVE is unique. There is nothing like that in the way we are in the industry. There's nothing like ONPASSIVE right now as we speak. So that was number one motivating factor for me. This is unique. There's nothing out there. We live in a time where people are trying to be innovative, create all kinds of stuff, apps, all kinds of things to be relevant. So when you want to come to the world stage at a magnitude like this, you want to create something that is unique, has never been done before. That is ONPASSIVE. Number two, technically it is possible. Yes, it is difficult. The technology has been there before. Remember, we are using the latest technology, artificial intelligence. It has been here before, since the 60s, 50s and the 60s. But AI has not been used at the magnitude in which Ash Mufarah is putting it together. But it is possible technically. And I say this as someone who's been in the industry for a while, working with a company called Cambridge Technology Partners in Boston, Massachusetts since 1998 when I entered the industry. We build systems around the country. It is difficult. So what Mr. Mufarah is putting together is something that has not been done before, and the technology. So here's what I tell most of my friends, and Oliver, I've told him this. When ONPASSIVE is going to launch, the moment Mr. Ash Mufarah turns on the switch, that moment, we know the world changes forever. That moment, Ash Mufarah becomes the most significant human being who ever set his foot on the planet Earth. Except Jesus Christ, of course, I'm a Christian. Ash Mufarah becomes the most significant human being that ever walked the planet Earth on the day of launch of ONPASSIVE, because of the impact of what ONPASSIVE will have to the peoples of the world, to have founders, to us, the founders of ONPASSIVE, to the users of the products of ONPASSIVE, to the businesses that will use her products. It's an impact that the world has never seen. And let us also remember that Ash Mufarah is also about to infuse trillions and trillions of dollars into the world economy. And ONPASSIVE has no debt. So all that kept motivating me. That was my motivating factor. And then the price. He comes in, he brings in his product. He says that value is the magnet of wealth. I'm not going to worry about anything else. I'm going to give value. Because when you have a product and you have the value, this value is going to attract wealth. Well, what is that wealth? The customers are going to flock in because of the value that ONPASSIVE is going to bring to the marketplace. That is guaranteed. And he says he's going to stack the cool. He keeps stacking the cool. You know, I was very interested. I was interested when I heard him, I think this week, he was talking about, something that is he's very wary about is most companies, when they launch, they have the hype and then they fade away. No, Mr. Ash Mufarah is stacking the cool. That keeps the world spellbound, to keep us motivated all throughout. Ash Mufarah is going to compound and compound. What we saw in Burj Khalifa in the month of April, that's nothing. He is going to keep us on our toes every week in, week out for the next couple of years. That's what Mr. Mufarah is doing now, to keep us motivated, to keep the world motivated, to keep us waiting, wanting to see what ONPASSIVE is unleashing. These products are going to come in and the world is going to be taken aback. And then by the time you absorb what ONPASSIVE has given with that product, another one shows up and another one shows up. That is the motivating factor that Ash Mufarah is going to throw, not only to us founders, but to the whole world. Because once ONPASSIVE comes out, the world is going to want to see exactly what is ONPASSIVE. Yes, my brother Oliver talked about MSI and Dr. B. William talked about MSI. Yes, ONPASSIVE is MSI on steroids. Multiple sources of income. Each of those products, like Oliver said, multi-billion corporation as a stand. Then you have your one account, you have one founding position, and you have these multiple corporations, and then you have, say, 5 or 10 accounts. Multiply that. Those are all independent corporations. Multiple sources of income. You know, remember, ONPASSIVE is that pregnant woman. We've always used this metaphor. ONPASSIVE is that pregnant woman who is now in the delivery room. but it's a very special pregnant woman because she has more than about 50 children in her stomach. Each of those children will have to come to term, and then the delivery. So let us all stay motivated. Let us stick together. Let us band together. That is what we have now. Mr. Ash has done exactly what he told us he was going to do. He's at a point now where the chiefs are just in place, talking to experts. He's dealing with experts right now, as Brother Madi will tell us. Some of the decisions that he's taking, he's not taking them on his own. They are expert advice that he's getting. So we should be proud to know that our founder is dealing with experts already before we launch, before we go into the marketplace. You know, so that's the little motivation that I had for us tonight. Let us all stay connected and committed. Go to your back office every day. Sometimes the system is going to be slow. Yes, when the system is slow, it is down. It is a good thing for us. We're in the industry. When you see the system slow, it is down like yesterday. A lot of work has been done. Right now, as you see the system, it's just that we cannot see. They just have to enable something for us to see what they've done. That is what is happening. So whenever the system is down, it's a good thing. Migration is happening. They are making changes. They are bringing this stuff down to apply something. That's what is happening in the background. You know, so let's all stay focused. Go to your back office every time. Check your profile. Make sure your profile is the same as your identification. I'm sure within the next few days, Mr. Ash is going to start asking us talking about KYC and all that. So make sure your ID is correct. You have the appropriate ID for your country. The recognized identification, because that's what the system is going to identify you with, and do your facial recognition. So those kinds of things are the things that you should be preparing yourself. Like Mr. Mike Ellis told us in one of his videos, maybe last week or so, prepare your mind, prepare yourself. You have to be ready to receive what is coming. You have to be ready, all of us, mentally. Because what is about to unfold, the world has not seen it before. So do not be surprised. Do not be taken aback. Get ready. Get ready, because the world is going to know your name, as our CEO says. Get ready. Get ready for the greatest shape of your life. The world is going to know each and every one of us, every founder, wherever you are. I don't care whether you're in Papua New Guinea, in the remote villages of Papua New Guinea, or in Cameroon, where I'm from, those remote areas where communication is very hard. ONPASSIVE is coming. The world is going to know your name where you are. As soon as ONPASSIVE launches, people find out that you are a founder of ONPASSIVE, their life changes. That is a fact of what Ash Mufara is about to unleash to the world. So let us all be ready. Let us be prepared to receive that. Open your mind, your soul, your spirit to receive what is about this gift. This is a gift of a lifetime. Some people have listened to this opportunity. They did not get it. You know why? They did not get it because they are not meant for it. They are not connected to the spirit of Ash Mufara. We have friends who are in the industry, friends who are smarter than myself and Oliver. They've listened to this opportunity, but they did not see it. Their natural predisposition is not to give. It's not in sync with the spirit of Ash Mufara. That's why. So those of us who are here, the 1.4 million founders, are the luckiest creatures on earth, on planet Earth. Thank you so much for coming to visit with us tonight. I'll send it back to you, Auntie Lynn.
Before you go, I want to say that what you said about people, they don't see ONPASSIVE for a reason, that's important, because that gives us a lot of peace in our heart. Because you know how we share with friends and family. Even for me, I share with my family. I haven't been very successful with my family, just my immediate family. So, you know, but when you said that, I said, okay, it's all right, because it wasn't meant to be.
No.
And then I think that they can always come in later. Like you always says, they can come in as resellers if they want to make money. So that gives me comfort, you know. So thank you.
Ash Mufara is a spirit. Ash Mufara is a spirit. You have to have that spirit, because this man, I think he told us the other day that there's a higher power He said that this is not the only one driving this. There's a higher power guiding us further through this process. And that spirit must be in you, in us, 1.4 founders so far. So when somebody does not believe, says they don't listen or that thing or what, just say that's fine. They don't get it. It is not them. It is the higher power that is saying that no, you don't deserve this. That's how I see it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's logical.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, now what's coming up next is we're going to take it to a Q&A. This is the time for you guys to ask your questions or make your comments. And then we'll have prayer. So let you know that Father Bless will be doing the prayer. If you want to exit before the prayer, that's perfectly fine. It's a tradition OWinners has had for a couple of years now. We want to preserve that. So now we're going to take it to a Q&A, and here's some guidelines on the Q&A, just so everybody knows. Okay, so we're going to have you raise your hand, and then we will recognize you. And then you have a couple of minutes if you can monitor yourselves and just limit your comments to 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, Satya, I see Satya's raring to go. He was the first to raise his hand. We'd love to hear from you, Satya. Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
I love you. Hi, ma'am. Very nice to meet you, ma'am. Mati, Digamo, sir, Michael, sir, and Oliver, sir, and all the great leaders. I'm very happy to associate with you. Or really follow Marty Digamo, sir's words. One of his lives, he said, "We already success. It's a done deal. Be always motivated and have a good wish." I always think and always follow his great words. We are already a great success, so that be consistent and you think that you already a great success. Like that, I always be motivated and I always consistent, and we are going to win it. It's a great deal. Very happy. One of his lives, Marty Gomez said that be always motivated, be that you are already a big success. So that think of it and be consistent like that. So I'm very happy and always be consistent. So we are all going to succeed in our lives. So that thank you so much for this motivational webinar. I'm very grateful to you. Very happy, very happy. Thank you so much. This is a really great webinar for all the founders, actually. Thank you so much. All the great leaders, Oliver, sir, Marty Digamo, sir, Achilles, and all the very great. I take a note for everyone's great words, so that I'm very happy. Really, really motivated. Thank you so much. Lynn, ma'am, thank you for always supporting me and giving a chance to be in this, and very happy to meet you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a great one. Thank you, Ash. Always succeed. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Satya. That was lovely. You're highly motivated. I can see that. So it's perfect that you're here to share that excitement. Thank you very much. All right. Do we have anybody else? If not, we're going to end early.
Now I see Brother Abdua in the house. He's with his suit. Maybe he wants to motivate us a little bit.
Would you like to? Let me find him. If you'd like to speak, just unmute. Abdua. Abdua is an OWinner, inside and out.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here. All this powerhouse speaking I hear tonight, Martin, Mike Ellis, Dr. William, Oliver, Uncle Bob. It's just a beautiful place for us where we at. You know, like it seemed like to me we're on a whole different planet. We're in an ONPASSIVE planet. We're on an ONPASSIVE ship, getting ready to take off into the atmosphere, travel from place to place, meeting people, changing people's lives. Now, I heard somebody say, I don't know if I heard it was Marty DeGama, somebody say that one day we all gonna wake up, especially us as founders, gonna wake up and realize how truly blessed we are after we realize where we really at. This is such a powerful gift we have. We've been blessed. We've been truly blessed, and we just don't really realize how some of us, how happy we should be. I can understand why a lot of people can't sleep. When you know what you know, that you know that you know what you have in your hand, you can feel the excitement. And the things you're going to be able to do to help other people. That's the biggest thing, is to be, we're going to be in such a place where we can be able to help other people to help themselves. That is the mission for every man and woman on this earth. We were sitting here to help each other. And Mr. Ash, in the biggest form, is giving us the opportunity and a vessel to work through called ONPASSIVE to make this happen. I am so fired up and I'm so happy. I'm just trying to keep myself from saying more than what I really want to say. That's how fired up I am. That's how happy I am, you know, but I just try to hold back because, you know, a lot of people else might have something else to say, but you should be ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm fired up. What Muhammad said, bah, 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 bah. That's what you should feel. Huh? Get ready for the most wonderful shape of your life. Getting ready to happen. Be ready. Keep your ears open. Keep your heart open. You getting ready to go place and do things you never done before in your life. Thank you very much.
And you're awesome. Bob knows to call you, right? He knows there's a reason we call on Abdullah. He fires us up. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Bob, I want you to feel free to call on anybody you want to call, Bob.
I think Sylvie's hand was up.
Oh, I see Marcienne and Sylvie. I think Marcienne was first. I just looked
Sylvie was off before, and I don't know what happened, but she's back. She can go ahead.
Okay, Sylvie can go first.
Thank you so very much, Lynn. Thank you, Marcienne. Thank you, Uncle Bob. I would like to appreciate all the speakers who just enlightened us today. Thank you, Maddie, Mike Ellis, Dr. Bill William, everyone. All your thought just gave a source of motivation to all of us. But one of the reasons of my motivation that I think every founder should take on account is the transparency of our CEO. That man who has the heart to care for people, he is the one who is coming every week to share, to give the update of the company. He is the same one working hard to change our future for good. Whoever see that? We all know that to see one of the CEO in one company is not easy. You need to fill forms to even talk to him. But that one with the golden heart is coming every week, like a mom who is giving food to his kids. He is coming, he is showing up to give the update. That is one source of motivation. We have to understand that ONPASSIVE is a movement, and it's not just getting up in the morning and get the success to that movement. The path to success is full of pitfall. So we have to stand tall and fight on the beaches. Yes, we have to motivate ourselves because people are coming from left and right, try to discouraging us, but we don't have to give up. We have to stand up, thinking positively, and support our CEO. Yes, self-motivation is very important with ONPASSIVE. We are here to succeed. We are here to do it or die, and we will succeed by God's grace. So I'm going to give the floor to Marcien, to others to say something because we are running out of time. But what I have to say is we have to hold hands, motivate ourselves, supporting our CEO to this journey, which is not easy to anybody. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Mr. Ashmufare. Thank you to all the leaders, the tech team in Hyderabad working so hard. Thank you, OWinners. Thank you to all the hosts and panelists present today. We appreciate your time. Back to you, Lynn. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvie, for those wonderful words of wisdom. Appreciate it. Now we go to Miss Marcienne Hemabu.
Yeah. Thank you, Auntie Lynn. Thank you, all the panelists. And I don't want to call all the names. I am so motivated. I've been motivated from the day that I came to ONPASSIVE. And if you don't know what is happening, start watching me dancing. That's where you will know that my life is not as the same as yesterday. You know, our CEO know that somewhere around the world, there's a little lady that needed something, needed somebody to say something to her and say, I'm going to change your life. And that's it. Just for that, she's going to be so amazed and she's going to be happy. And he gave that to us, and that motivates me. Just the fact that I know that ONPASSIVE is the company, is the beacon of hope, that when you come in, you are going to win. That was already a motivation. And since then, I am being a dancing queen. And Madi Gomu will say it, baby. Boom, say it. We are in it to win it. And if you are still in here and you don't get it, that you are in it to win it, I don't know what you are doing here tonight. We are so in it to win it. Fire! Thank you, Lynn. Back to you.
Thank you. Awesome. I like that. Fire, fire, fire. Full of fire. That's you, Marcy. And you're one thing I know about you is you are consistent. When you do stuff every day, day in and day out without fail. And that's why you're going to be successful. And that's why you are successful today. Thank you very much, Marcienne. All right. We see now, oh, there's Victor Abba. Come on down, Victor. How are you? Oh, you gotta, wait, let me unmute you, sorry. Okay, you can unmute now.
Good morning, good evening, good everything to each and every one of you. I want to say I love each and every one of you. I can't name you all because time is running out, but I just want to say you're fully and wholly appreciated. There's a saying that says, some things are caught and some things are taught. And I want to appreciate the people who in 2018 caught Ash's vision. They actually caught it. They didn't know anything. He spoke and they grabbed a hold of it and they caught it and they ran with it. For the majority, we have had to be taught. And over a 4-year period, we have been taught how to appreciate the unseen, taught how to accept that there is a man there who says a thing and actually does it. He has woken up the sleeping giant in 1.4 million people. One man with a vision, a few who caught the vision, and now the rest who have been taught. And I think that that is the greatest motivator. People who were ready to pass on from this life with their dreams locked within them. Some didn't even know that they had the ability to dream. But Ash and his team, and each and every one of you who have grabbed a hold of this ONPASSIVE family group and vision, each and every one of you, we are now in a position where we can be teachers. We can teach the people in our immediate environment. We can teach the people in our communities. We can teach the people that it's not all about me, but it's about us, what we can do. It's not about money anymore. It's about how we can help people help themselves, all because of one man's vision, all because of the few who caught that vision, and all because of the 1.4 million of us who have been taught.
Thank you.
And I want to say thank you for each and every one of you, and God bless you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you for your words. Appreciate you so much. All right, now we go on to Rita. We're nearing the 2-hour mark is when we usually kind of wrap up, but we do have 3 hands. So if you can limit yourselves to a couple minutes, just monitor yourselves, we'll be in good shape. So now we'll go to Rita. Hi, Rita. You can unmute.
Hello.
Hi, Rita.
Hi, Lynn. How are you doing? Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming this day. Like some of them is already Monday and we are night. I just want to say thank you very much for this opportunity, and I'm happy to be here today. It's about motivation. I just want to say thank you very much, Lynn, for all the days, the times that you are dedicating, your time to be here. Like sometimes we go up to midnight, like even the second day you are there. I just want to say thank you very much for your time. You're doing a very good job, and nobody's going to pay you for that. It's only our Lord. And for our tech, thank you for all the information, and our leaders that, they have been giving us peace, and we are gaining really very much from it. And my thanks go to our brother, our CEO, Mr. Ash, for all he's been doing to us and making our day, every day, like you have something to be grateful for. Like I am so grateful for a word that I'm hearing from our leaders. Just for me being alive and be attending healthy, I really appreciate that. And I wish everyone, to continue to do what they're doing, and God grant you all what you want in your life. Thank you very much, Lynn, for your time. Thank you.
Rita. Thank you for those nice words. Appreciate you. Right, now we go on to Tina Go in Singapore. How are you, Tina? You can unmute, Tina.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Each and every one of you, my beautiful ONPASSIVE family. I am actually at work now, and that's why it's not convenient for me to come on video. But and I also have issues with my other mobile phone getting into to speak. but I'm here, alhamdulillah, and I wish to talk about motivation. That's the topic today, but I'll try to make it in under 2 minutes, as what my dearest lovely Lynette said. I am motivated by everyone in this room at this moment. I am motivated by our CEO, Ash Mufareh. I am motivated by our tech teams that is relentlessly doing all the work in spite of all the time that they have, the short time that they have to keep us to the next stop. I am motivated to be with all of you today, and all of the people that I am going to go mad, give to others, make a difference. I don't know what to say, but I'm just motivated. Thank you so much. That's all I have to say. Maybe I should thank the host here, Sylvie, Marcien, Dr. Uncle Bob, Oliver, and all of the other speakers, my mighty big guy, Mark Ellis, Dr. Bill Williams, and all the others, leadership council here. But most of all, I want to be like Lynn, to be everywhere every day, but I can't. But I know I will soon. Thank you very much, all of you, for having me here. Alhamdulillah, I'm always very grateful and to the Almighty. For he has worked his invisible hands, his unseen hands, to guide our CEO. Thank you. I love you all. Bye.
Thank you, Tina. You're like one of the most motivated people I know. My gosh, you're on fire all the time. Appreciate you. Okay, now we go on to Dr. Bill Williams. Come on down.
I'm going to finish off with a quote, very short quote. But first, let me invite everyone to our Singapore meeting tomorrow. Starts half an hour earlier than normal, 8 o'clock instead of 8:30 Eastern time. If you're looking at Eastern time, that's 8 o'clock Eastern time. Got special guests coming in, Michael Williams and Julie Nguyen. So it'll be another banner day in Singapore. Anyway, here's a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. Perfect for this group. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win.
That's I like that. That's kind of funny.
Thanks for having us all over. We appreciate the invitation, and the winners are here. We know who you are.
This is right. Thank you, Dr. Bill. All right, we're going to have our last speaker, our last commenter here today will be Dharmi Chan Gurjar, and then we'll wrap up. Hello, Dharmi. You can speak now.
Hello.
Hello.
My name all founders, ONPASSIVE. I am proud founder, Indian, Dharmi Chan Gurjar. I love you, my ONPASSIVE family, and Dr. Bill Williams, and Lena Dekamo, and my yes, Mufare, yes, my lovely is my all the best, all Indian. All the best, all the best. My sister and my brother, all India family is my, how are you? My request is please, I am happy, and my brother and sister, all our ONPASSIVE family founders. Thanks.
That was so lovely. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Come back again,
Oh,
okay?
I am heart, I am happy. I am
Very
good.
nice. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so this is that. I think that's it for our comments and questions. I think we're in good shape now. Time for our thanks, and then we're going to have the prayer, and then bye-bye. Okay?
Thanks, Mike.
So,
Thanks. Great.
welcome. Thank you, Dharmi. All right. So I want to thank. Wait, I forgot if I put. Okay, so I want to thank for one thing the greeters and co-hosts that's Sylvie Wanji and Marcian. Thank you so much. So our comment and question time is done, Darmi. We're done, okay? So now we're finishing up, so you know. All right, so what was I saying? Oh, thank you to Marcian and Sylvie for doing the greeting. That's an important function that they do every week. Appreciate you for doing that. Thank you to our hosts that created this webinar in the first place, and that's Bob Takusi and Oliver Fonte. Thank you to our speakers. We had Dr. Pikam Takusi. Her voice wasn't cooperating with her, but man, her spirit was alive when she spoke with us. We knew she had a lot more to say, and she can say more the next time she comes when her voice is back. Thank you to Dr. Bill Williams for your wisdom and your slide, your diagram, very elucidating. Appreciate it. Thank you to Mike Ellis, who is always motivating to us. Thank you, Mike. Thank you to Marty DeGamo. He opens up our webinar. He allows it so that we can live stream and we can have a large number of participants. So thank you, Marty, for that. Thank you to GJ Skipper, who very consistently comes and performs. He sings and plays the electric piano for us. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to his new song. We'll let you know when that comes out, and let's promote him. Let's help him. Thank you to our graphic artists. We have Myra Aquino and June Buckingham, who create our graphics for us every week. And this one is extra pretty. Isn't it beautiful? I'm just enjoying it. It's like totally a work of art that, you know, good for the eyes. I mean, I really enjoy it. So thank you so much, Myra and June, for that commitment to our webinar. Thank you to our chat monitors. We have our chat guardians or monitors headed by John Barilla. And John Barilla, I'm going to let you unmute so you can say a few words of thanks to your crowd, and go ahead. John Barilla. Are you there, John?
There we go. There we are. Now I'm unmuted. Okay. I was just going to say, it was very lovely here in our chat tonight. Very good comments and encouragement to people as they went by. So we had no problem here tonight. Everybody in the gallery looked great as I checked them out. But I do want to say that the folks that really are in the YouTube, oh my, they had a little bit of trouble tonight, but you know what? They took care of it. And I want to mention everybody's name that helped us there real quick, because it's a list. MK Cayley, Yen Yang, Casey Zevenbergen, Kushol Pagoo, Raphael St. Germain, Jean Aliba. Well, Jean missed tonight, but she's always helpful anyway. Listra Tuach, Meir Aquino, Bruce Gerstein, Miriam Weiberg, Roy Davies, Rob Gorman, and Dave Rosalski. Thank you, folks. You did a lot of good hard work tonight.
Oh my gosh, John, you've got a nice crew helping you. I remember the days when it was just you. Do you remember those days? It was just you. And now you've got a nice crew to help you, and kudos to you for arranging that, you know, to make that happen. And it gives people a chance to shine as well. So I appreciate you, you know, uplifting others and not just yourself. That really is a true leader. Thank you, John. All right. So we've come to the end of our webinar. Wait. I want to thank the people who helped promote this webinar. You guys know who you are. You're the ones that do, you know, like post, that you share it with friends and family. Thank you, because that's so important, right? Especially like today when we couldn't post in the back office. For some reason, that function isn't working. Haven't been able to post this for the last several hours, but we made it up by posting in social media, by telling people to come, and we had over 150 people, which is really good considering we couldn't post in the back office. Thank you to you attendees here who are faithful. We have a lot of familiar faces that we see every week. We appreciate you more than words will ever say. We do really appreciate you. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take it to the gallery. We can say bye to each other. And if you don't mind, I want to just say that Roblin Live is at midnight. We don't have the advantage of being able to post in the back office, but it is on my YouTube channel, and it's also being, it's going to be on Marty's channel, Red's channel, Comfort Comfort's channel, and the OTech Pros channel. You can watch it stream. Huh? Prayer. Oh yeah, we've got to do prayer. Okay, I'll do that at the end. What else I was going to say? Threw me off, honey bunny. What was I going to say? So the live is tonight, and then, oh, don't forget tomorrow is the corporate webinar at 3 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to have the chat with the OTech pros at 2 p.m., 1 hour before the corporate webinar. There's a lot of excitement that we have right before the corporate webinar starts. So it's a good place to let it all out, share your excitement. So that will be hopefully posted in the back office. I hope that function is working tomorrow. So that'll be 2 p.m. Eastern. All right. Thank you so much. And now we're going to go to prayer with Father Bless. You can unmute.
Thank you, Auntie Lynn. Thank you, everyone. As after a webinar like this, I want to make sure we sleep, preparing our mind to welcome what is coming tomorrow. Let us pray. Lord God, send peaceful sleep to refresh our tired bodies. May your help always renew us and keep us strong in your service. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Thank you. Love you all.
Love you too. Thank you. All right, now we go to the gallery. Oh, so nice, you guys. Look at that. So pretty with that background, don't you think? Wow. What a masterpiece. I love it. All right, so now what we're going to do is unmute everybody, and you can say bye-bye to one another. If you guys want me to spotlight your camera or your images, turn your video on. That's my cue that you want to be highlighted, okay? There we go. Enjoy the byes. You're all unmuted.
Good night.
Bye now.
Bye,
Bye now. Bye now.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye bye now.
Thank you. Tomorrow.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Bye bye now.
Diana.
Thank you. Now.
Takusi.
Bye now.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
See you.
So long.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye now.
See you guys soon at 7
Now.
a.m.
Good night.
Say goodbye now. See you next time.
Good night, Gladys.
Yes. Hello, Gladys.
Oh, so long. And goodbye
Hi,
now.
Helen.
Night, everybody. I love you.
Bye bye now.
Motivation.
Oh, goodbye now.
Good night,
It's
See you
wonderful,
later.
wonderful, wonderful.
Bye.
Thank you for the background.
Alligator.
Good night.
See you later.
It is
All
over
right.
with it.
Bye bye now.
Woo!
Bye now. See you later.
See you, John.
Bye now.
Good night, everybody.
See
Bye,
you now.
everyone.
Bye now.
From Thailand.
Bye now.
Bye.
No, that way.
Good night,
Bye. Hi,
Father
Father
Bless.
Blaze.
Good night, Father Bless.
All the
Yeah.
good dreams
Bye
to
now.
you.
Good night.
Good night. Sleep tight. Sweet dreams.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Lynn.
Good family.
Bye.
Bye, Saja.
Bye. Thank you so
Bye
much.
now.
Good night.
We'll see you later.
See you
Thank you,
later.
Lynn. Thank you.
Bye now.
Takusi.
Bye,
Lynn.
Lawrence.
See you later.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Hello.
Good morning.
Your time and your presence.
Good morning, Lawrence.
Bye now.
Miss Kenya was in the house. PNG in the
Hi,
house.
Gladys.
Bye now.
Hi,
Bye,
Pauline.
James.
Good morning.
We'll see
Bye
you
bye.
later.
Hi, James. Hi,
Good night,
everyone.
Sister Helen.
Alligator.
Yes,
Bye
nice,
bye.
I'm
nice,
looking for
sister.
Oh,
you.
goodbye now.
Okay. Waiting for you.
Hi, Anna.
It's just goodbye now.
Good night.
We gotta go now.
I know.
Oh, bye, bye, bye
You don't
now.
always want to leave, huh? Hi.
Yeah, the train is coming.
New
I
York.
hear the rumble. I hear the
Hello.
rumble.
Unpassive for life.
Hello,
Hi, Dami.
Dami-chan.
Hello.
Our diverse
Bye now.
Good morning for Darmy. It's a morning.
Morning.
Thank you for coming.
We'll see ya.
For your support.
So what's going on? I don't
Bye.
see anybody. Bye. Chim
Motivation.
It's only
Hi,
us.
Marcia.
Tim Jilong.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye and night-night.
Okay,
Night,
night.
night.
John.
Night-night.
Bye and
All
good
right,
night.
bye now.
Bye, Angeline.
Don't forget
Don't
to
get
come
prepared
early this
Bye,
morning
John boy.
for the
for the
great news.
Singapore webinar. The Singapore webinar at 7 a.m. is going to
See
be.
you soon,
A.M.
Angeline.
for us.
Midnight, rumbling
We have
live.
the link in the back office. I have a link on my Facebook channel. For those that they don't have it, please come to the Singapore webinar this morning. It's going to be hot.
Send me the link.
Thank you.
I'll
Fire
send it to
up.
you, Mama Ellen.
Get fired and motivated.
I'm
Good
fired
night,
up.
everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Night.
Take care.
Bye.
Hi.
See you. See you.
Traveling
Sister
See you.
Kido.
in 45 minutes.
Hey,
We
Willie.
also have the Australia webinar, but that's for founder only. Founder only, the Australia webinar. So if you can attend, that's fine. It's going to be founder only. So I'm not going to send the individual link. The link is in the back office.
Oh, got you.
Good night,
Yes, ma'am.
everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.